Stand by as we're going live. Might just take another minute. All right, and we're live. So welcome Sotheby's International Realty Ninjas. I'm really excited to be here today for our coffee talk. We have Maria Vitale and we have Melanie Frank, our fellow ninjas, and we're really excited to be talking to everyone this morning. We're going to be starting in about 3 minutes, but we thought we'd jump on early so that we can get our Facebook live stream happening. And I think this is a perfect opportunity to have you guys share your gratitudes. So if you're watching and you're on early, feel free to type in the chat box your gratitude, something you're grateful for this morning. And do you guys want to share your gratitudes with everyone?
I would love to share my gratitude with everyone. So yesterday, I have 2 boys, they're 15 and 13, and I did I come from a big family, so my boys really struggled that we weren't all together. So we did a scavenger hunt, and I did all of these clues. So I put like roses are red, violets are blue, your next clue is near where you poo. And the kids had to go and do the scavenger hunt everywhere, and they just thought it was so cool. So I'm really grateful for that. How about you ladies?
You want to go, Mel?
My gratitude this morning, I have a lot of gratitudes. I woke up early this morning. I really wanted to be prepared for this and feel well, and I can tell you it's a good day. So I'm grateful for health. I'm really grateful for a blue sky after a snowy mountain day yesterday. It's really pretty, and we're going to be getting more snow this afternoon, and just really feeling very, very grateful for a peaceful feeling.
That's beautiful. I think for me this morning, my gratitude really is my family members. We did a family Zoom on Easter. It was not the Easter I had expected, but we did a nice family Zoom, and just being able to see their faces and talk to them made me feel more connected. So I'm just so grateful for my family. I'm very blessed to have amazing family. So I think that's, my gratitude for today. I see some people are starting to jump on, and if you guys want to share your gratitudes with the group, do you guys want to talk a little bit about, we have another minute before we get started, but Maria, for you especially, why is gratitude so important as a ninja?
Oh gosh, for me especially, gratitude really was the pivotal point in my life. I mean, you can be pitiful or powerful, and you can stay in this point of pity and poor me, or you can focus on like all these great things. And gratitude is the tool that takes you into the powerful empowerment phase. I always talk about a lady I listen to, her name is Joyce Meyer, and she always says, are you pitiful or powerful? Well, it's your choice, but what you focus on obviously expands. And so we have so much to be grateful for. Right now we have people and other ninjas chiming in. So hello all ninjas, welcome and thank you for joining. I'm with 2 of the most astute, wonderful women I know in the industry, and that right there, and we're all doing this from our home. Nice, like Mel said, it's snowing here, it's freezing. So I don't know how you guys are doing there, but Mel, I'll give you credit for being grateful for the snow. Me, not so much.
I do live in the Colorado Rocky Mountains, so the snow is it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So awesome. So I think we're ready to get started and kind of get into more of our coffee talk. We have so many exciting things to talk to you guys about today. And really our focus is going to be health, and it's going to be mind and body, right? And how as ninjas can we really stay focused on our health, which is very crucial right now. So I want to start by talking with Melanie. And many of you, like myself and Maria, are very blessed and lucky to know Melanie. Melanie, you're constantly an inspiration to so many of us, and you are a master ninja instructor and have been and have a big background in real estate as an agent and as a manager. So I feel like, everything you share incorporates the Sotheby's International Realty and Ninja Selling so beautifully. But we want to talk a little bit about you and what you've been through. because you have shared with us that, you do have COVID and you've been powering through. And thank you so much for being willing and brave enough to share your story. So do you want to share with us maybe some of the symptoms and how you first noticed it and what you've been going through?
Yes. Thank you. I feel better. So that's the first thing I want to say, is that every single day has been just a new experience. And, when I had a really great day a few days ago, I thought, oh, it's over. And, it really is just more about taking 2 steps forward and maybe 1 step back. But I'm going in the right direction. And I feel really blessed to be able to share this today and be able to share this with everyone here, kind of a little bit about what the experience has been. Being a Master Ninja instructor, I travel a lot. And so I don't know exactly where or how I got this, but I'd been traveling quite a bit up until about March 7th, and I was healthy. I'm a very healthy person. I'm not in the age category. I do have asthma, which likely is why this has hit me so hard. But my symptoms really started with coming home from a lot of travel and having a sick child who was just getting over something. We don't know what. My husband was sick, and I'm so grateful that he pulled himself away from me at that point and moved into the guest bedroom just in case, because we started hearing about this virus. And I thought, well, I've been traveling. So that has been really since the beginning of March. And I'm really grateful for that too, because I don't want to spread this or share this with my family. In full disclosure, in my county, we're not doing tests. The tests weren't available. And so as my symptoms progressed, my doctor can confidently say that I have a 98% diagnosis based on the experiences and the symptoms that I've been going through. So it's important to know that even if the tests aren't available for you, doctor's care is really important. So I guess my symptoms really started out with coming home and maybe just a little bit of a runny nose. And then the second week, my throat started hurting and still had the runny nose. And then it really turned into super tired, like fatigue. And if you've been in my installation, you know that I usually have a lot of energy, and I normally do. I'm blessed with a lot of energy, and I move and I'm always moving it forward and moving in a the next, I'm a planner and I'm always moving in the next direction. But I had so many plans when we all got the news that we're all going to be staying at home, and I planned. I had all the food ready. I had, everything ready. I worked backwards from really, I think it was April 15th, all the things that I wanted to accomplish by April 15th. And I was so excited, but I had no energy. I was just feeling like I needed to go to bed at 6 o'clock at night. And and then this headache started coming in. The headache was getting worse and worse and worse, and it was debilitating. And this was like around probably the week of March 16th. Where the headaches started coming in and into play. The next week, it was really my asthma started acting up and wheezy and feeling short of breath, but just a dry cough. I didn't have a really deep cough. I never have had a really deep cough with this. One day it was my stomach hurt, and then every single day it just felt like a new symptom where I thought, okay, this might be turning into something. And I reached out to my doctor probably the end of March, and started really going through these symptoms with her. And she kept a really close eye on me and, said, we know that you've had COVID exposure. We know that, you've been out and about, but, let's just keep watching this. And then it was probably the morning that Jim Miller was going to be speaking, and that was my last time on camera with everybody. I woke up that morning and I was breathing fire. It was like every single breath that I took in, I couldn't get enough air in, and it just was like it just burned so bad. And that continued really up until still today, mine, it's about 50% better, but just a really, really painful, body aches and pain in the breathing part. And that was really when my doctor said, you have this. My saving grace was oxygen. In the mountains, we are depleted of oxygen anyway. So it was available to me, and I went on oxygen that same day of the Jim Miller beautiful, beautiful presentation that he gave us, and conversation that we had with him. And honestly, I'm still on it, and I'm still fighting to get my oxygen levels back to normal. I'm good when I'm sitting, now in room air temperature, but if I'm standing or walking, it drops, and it drops really low, so too low. So the oxygen has really been my saving grace. So that's kind of the experience that I have been feeling with the symptoms.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Melanie. And, if you need to take a little break from talking, like, we understand. So don't strain yourself, please. I know you're getting better. And that's one of the reasons that, we wanted to have you kind of talk about this today. But I guess you and I have talked a bit about ninja mindset and how you really credit that. You credit ninja mindset with helping you get through this, right? Because we know the body is doing a miraculous job inside of you, healing yourself, right, and responding and battling this. But your mind, right, that's a whole that is connected to your body. So what do you think the proper mindset and to help you, and why is this also really important for our ninjas to hear about what you've been going through?
I think it was critical. I really do. I think that really powering and channeling into what we have been trained in, what our habits are with ninja. Right now it's more important for me than ever, and for all of us, as we take care of our health and we take care of our minds, as we're all going through something that is so different. I think that prayer was a big one for me as well. And I heard the words, what you focus on expands, over and over and over again. And while I wasn't sharing that I was sick, I was pulling so much positive, energy, the energy that I was pulling, even from our group, our tribe that we have here, our ninjas, anything positive that I could focus on helped me start to feel better. And my mindset would go to gratitudes, and what am I grateful for today? What's a little bit better? What am I doing? There's a big fog around having this virus, and it's no joke. I wasn't able to sit and binge watch TV because honestly, my vision was affected. I couldn't see my TV, and noise hurt my head, and I couldn't focus on anything. So sometimes it was posting and sleeping, but I would try to take something really positive and focus on that instead. And wow, what a difference, it makes to focus on the positive. There wasn't any news in my world. I'm not following what's happening on the news. I know that there's a lot of scary things right now. A lot of people are going through this in a much worse way than I am. And, at this point, many of us have lost somebody to this virus. So I just really started focusing on, the energy and the positive energy, and bringing people in. I relied on the two of you right here, Kristine and Maria, who knew this. We have a ninja influencer group that, I shared this with, and positivity coming from them. My friends, I have, friends, sharing, in the field, that were sharing advice, like, it's important that you stay moving even though you don't feel well, because you don't want this to turn into pneumonia. And believe me, when your body hurts, you don't want to get up, you don't want to start moving, but you have to sit up. I slept sitting up many nights because I got that great advice from a friend of mine, in the healthcare world. And Ellen Winter sent me a great thing on learning how to do some breathing exercise from Aspen Sotheby's International Realty. And I did that, and it's just really helpful. So pulling energy and focusing on not the fear, because it is a scary thing. It's a really scary thing to think about. We don't know what this virus is all about. It's new and it hits everybody in a different place. So, emotions can get, especially when you're feeling so horrible, emotions can really get to you and make you go straight to fear, the fear of giving this to my family, the fear of now I'm finally out of isolation and I'm able to join my family. There's a huge gratitude because that happened this weekend. I don't want to pass this on to anybody. So the ninja mindset is just, when our health is challenged, it is more important than ever just to dig deep and to just pull energy from that. And it worked. It worked, and I'm getting better. And I really attribute taking those tools that we have and really digging deep on those and what you focus on.
Well, Mel, let me say, I'm so grateful that you're better. We missed you last week. I will say that I traveled with you. We were recently in St. Louis, co-hosting a big deal, Dillman Sotheby's, and you were extra precautious. I mean, you kept telling me, here's an extra bottle. When we got on the plane, you wiped down everything. So, I'm honestly kind of shocked because you were kind of coaching me, but I think you hit something on the head. First of all, mindset, and we're all body, mind, soul. We always hear that is all interconnected, and what you focus on grows. And so I just want to take just a second, because I've talked to you throughout this whole process, and never once did you go into this pitiful mode. Ninja is a warrior. And when I think of ninja, I think of you right now in this process, because there's a lot of us that identify with being a ninja that are worrying, and you were a true warrior. So I want to just ask the 86 people, and let me just give a shout out to India that is on our call. So we are now all on an international call. So welcome. Thank you so much. I see Connecticut. I see Aspen. Thank you all for joining. But, what are you doing to be proactive about your health right now? You talked about mindset and you talked about what that goes. So if you want to give us just a quick snippet on that. And then Kristine, I'm hoping you can answer that same question. What are you doing? COVID is affecting all of us in some format, whether it's a hand reach away. I mean, Mel, you're one of my best friends, and being that this hit you so close, it rocked my world. And I would call you every day and you'd say, oh, I'm okay. And I know now that you were just mentally getting yourself there, but our beliefs become our actions. So your body did what your mind told it to do, is to get there. And so I don't want to strain you anymore, because I can tell, we want to give you a little bit of a rest.
Well, I guess I'll just close with that. And then I do need to take a rest. I think you're right. As ninjas, our ninja mindset, we always think that if we focus on the positive, it will always be positive. But we need to understand and remember that bad things happen, and bad things happen in our world, and bad things happen to the people that we love, and bad things happen to us. And if you remember the ability to respond, the responsibility, your ability to respond and how you respond to that situation is always going to be a choice. And being able to dig deep into that, we need to remember that positive mindset doesn't mean that bad things aren't going to happen. It means that you need to then channel into that and help you get through whatever it is. There's so many things that so many of us right here in this group and people that are going to be watching this that are going through, but you have the responsibility, the ability, the ability to choose how you are going to respond. And I think that I'll close with, it was important for me to share this with everyone because, number one, there's a lot of fear around this virus and the unknown. There's some stigmas around having the virus, and then all of a sudden people don't come near me, I got that too. But I think that it's really important that we really focus on, I had a friend who texted me and she said, I'm so bored. I'm so tired. I'm so done cooking and I'm so done cleaning. And I can't wait to say that. I can't wait to get bored. And I can't wait to start getting up, and I can't wait to start accomplishing all those things that are on my list. And if that helps you regenerate and, revisit and celebrate your health, do that, and just really think about how you can get through these next few weeks by recharging and re-energizing. Kristine, tell us about some of the things that you're doing, some of the tools that you've been doing to get through this with health. And thank you. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Yes, you should stop talking. And if you want to turn your camera off, or do whatever you feel comfortable with, because we want you to continue resting. And thank you again for sharing your story. I know that it was something you weren't sure about, but I know that there's value and gifts in what you've shared. And I know people right now watching, you've touched them and you've given them a gift by sharing your story. So I'm so grateful for you, Mel. And I'm glad you're feeling better and that you're on the mend. And one of the other great gifts that I got is I got to, know Maria, who since the minute I read Ninja Selling, I've been so inspired by. So that's another gift of kind of right now in terms of me. But I want to talk about this book. So it's by Dr. Wayne Dyer, and this one is called The Power of Intention. Now it's a little bit more new agey, I'll warn you, but I do think that we're all ninjas here, and that means that you definitely are in a higher vibration, right? If you're practicing ninja and you've been through an installation. So I just want to share really quickly with you guys a few things that really affected me. And I'm going to start with the big one. He lists on page 73 kind of a mini program for raising your energy vibration, right? And it's something that I know we're all focused on. But I want to go right to retreat from low energy substances. Okay, so I want to just share with everyone that, I don't have a formal problem with drinking. I've never been labeled an alcoholic. I don't believe I'm an alcoholic, full disclosure. However, I, as many of us, would get home every night and pour a pretty big glass of wine and then a second glass of wine. And it got to the point where it was really starting to become a habit. And then when all this went down a few weeks ago, I really started coming home and then working from home. I was like, oh, it's 4 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock. And I would immediately start going to drink and drinking more than I really felt good about. And then the next morning, I'd kind of wake up, and not to the point where I was like hungover, but I just didn't feel good. And then about 2 weeks ago, I had a Monday night. It was a rough Monday night. And I definitely had 3 glasses of wine. I stuffed my face. I got in a bed. I felt so bloated. I looked down at my stomach and I said to myself, you know what? I don't want to be this person. I have no interest in being this person that got drunk and wasted on a Monday night because I can't deal with stuff and ate so much and feel disgust. I don't want to be that person. And it was like a wake up call for me. And I just, the next day I said, you know what? I'm taking a break. And it's not a forever break. Maybe it will be because I'm feeling really good right now. But in the moment, I said to myself, I'm taking a break from drinking. I was lucky because I had my call with my therapist that day. So like many of us, like I do therapy every other week, and I'm lucky that I can still do it on the phone with my therapist. So there's another good one. If you need therapy right now, you can actually get it on the phone. And I talked to her and I said, hey, I know I've talked to you about this before, but I really want to make this work. And she gave me some really good tips. She said, number one, find somebody to be accountable to, because if you have to be accountable to someone else, that's going to actually help you with your goal. And then we just kind of talked about different things I could do. And she described alcohol as a ritual. She said, a lot of people have trouble giving it up or taking a break because it's a ritual. And so right now, every night you're shutting down your day and this is your ritual. So can you find another ritual? And so that was incredible advice for me. And it's now been almost 2 weeks. Tomorrow it'll be 2 weeks, 14 days, no drinking. And I have to tell you, I feel amazing. I feel like my vibration is higher. I have more strength. I have more energy. I'm actually sleeping now, which I was not sleeping when I was drinking. And I think, in the beginning, I was a little fearful about, oh my God, stopping drinking. What are you, crazy? My husband decided to do it with me. So that was good because he definitely likes to drink. And that's harder, right, when it's in your house. But I feel so much better. And I just wanted to share that story with you guys because, this is a time where you can challenge yourself, and you don't have to stop drinking for 2 weeks if you don't want to, but can you drink less? Can it be every other day? Or maybe it's just on the weekends. Are we drinking too much right now? So I wanted to just kind of put that out there. And he has some other cool tips, which I don't need to go into right now. But I know, Maria, we were sharing a little bit about, different things that we're doing to deal with this. And what do you think about kind of, like having everyone check themselves? Are you doing too much of something right now? Is this a time where we can take a look at that?
Well, so thank you for all the new people who are joining. I am trying to watch some of the comments. It's a little delayed. So we started this, for those of you who've just joined, I want everybody to just take a minute. We have almost 100 people. Are you and I saw this, I was watching a church service, and the lady who was singing said, warrior or warrior. So right now, ask yourself, are you a warrior or are you a ninja warrior like Melanie was? It was this amazing example of how she was going through this. And there were many times where I called her and I knew she did not want to pick up, and I would try to just distract her with something different because really I wanted a reason to talk to her. And so through that process, she would say, I'm good, I'm healing, I'm going to be good, I'm going to be good. And her self-talk. Here's the other thing. It's not if something's going to happen to you, it's when. So be prepared, because we're all in this, whether it's a divorce, whether it's COVID, regardless of what it is, you're all going to experience something. So embrace for it and prepare how you are going to be coping through it. Coping skills are pretty big. Let's talk about Kristine, what you shared, and I want to thank both of my co-hosts today on their complete authenticity and vulnerability. It takes a lot for both of you to get up here and share what you shared. You talk about this drinking. Well, I tend to overeat. I mean, I'm pasta. We indulge in bread, and it just feels good. And that is just a coping skill that takes us into another form of reality, another lower vibration, and it's almost like a coma, if you've ever heard a coma eating. But what happens is a lot of us don't want to feel this really uncomfortable phase that we are all feeling at some level. And I want to remind everybody that it's in the discomfort where growth happens, is in our own discomfort. Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. So take a minute and look at your own discomfort and what that looks like, and what are you going to do or not do today that will affect or not affect your personal and business life. Okay. It's interesting, Melanie, you said, I can't wait to just sit at home and feel bored. So many of us are at home feeling bored. People, take advantage of this time. It's not going to be like this forever. Okay. I had a little epiphany myself. I started going through my drawers. You can tell in this meeting, I have so much energy and I talk so fast. So keep up. I started going through all my drawers, and there was a saying that said, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So my house, if you came into my house, it looks show ready. But if you opened some of my drawers, not everything is completely organized, and I'm going through that. But what happens is you start cleaning out, and how you operate in your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual world, they're all intertwined. And so as I started cleaning out my drawers, my thoughts started to become easier to listen to. And I always, I talk every single talk. I always bring God into everything I do. Started aligning with God and knowing what I should do. And so I was watching something yesterday, and it said, in 2 weeks, this should all be over. And oh my gosh, I've been in quarantine for 4 weeks, and what a waste of time. I have not cleaned out my drawers. I have not. So are you wasting your time? Are you worrying your time? I'm not saying that you shouldn't indulge in some of these things. Indulge, take time, but time block. Time block your day. That's all about what ninjas do. Start your morning with gratitude. And then if you need to take 2 or 3 hours to watch Netflix, so be it. Then go in. And even if you're saying, I'm only going to do things in 30-minute increments, ladies, I think it'll make a big difference. 30 minutes a day. Work on your database. 30 minutes a day to write your thank you cards. 30 minutes a day for you, Melanie, I want you to know how loved you are. We have people over and over. I can't keep up with the comments. Maybe Kristine can chime in on some of these comments of everybody just wishing you so well. And we are all, like Larry Kendall said, wishing you healthy vibes. So, we're wishing that. But I think overall, it's not if something's going to happen, it's when, and it's your coping mechanism that's going to take you. We all have to go in life, starting with the letter A to the letter Z. So are you going to do that very softly? Every time I list a house, I tell my clients, your house is going to sell. We'll take it from A to Z, but we can take it from A to Z with the lowest amount of drama possible. And with me as your advocate, that will happen. So how are you advocating for your own life right now? What do you think, Kristine?
I love that. No, I love that. Thank you so much. Every time I get my Maria fix, it's like you have such positivity. So thank you for sharing with all the ninjas. I know that, like myself, so many of us just love this ninja fix and this coffee talk. And I love how you discussed about cleaning out your drawers. I know so many people are doing that, and it's not just the drawers you're cleaning out, right? You're going through, some of that inner dialogue. I do think one other thing I want to share is one of the things on Wayne Dyer's list is meditation. Now, meditation is something that I've kind of done off and on, but I've never been like hardcore meditation. I was fortunate enough to attend Level Up. So thank you so much, Rick Edler, if you're watching. And at Level Up, we all got access to Headspace. So I have played with it a little bit, but now I'm doing Headspace again. And I jumped on yesterday and I started my day with a Headspace meditation. So it's an app, and this guy's voice, it's almost like he's coaching you. Like if you've ever had an amazing coach in your life, for those of us that played sports and you kind of get that coach voice, he was coaching me to meditate, and I automatically feel so much better. So I think meditation, if you haven't tried it, it's a really good time to be doing that. But, getting back to the low energy substances, really focusing on people that are toxic, right? Do you have people in your life right now that are toxic, that are low energy, and you want to weed them out? Conscious of the food you eat. So, are you still getting, like I've been taking my vitamins and extra vitamin C and zinc ever since it started, because I think, like Larry said a few weeks ago, for a lot of us, this is a lesson. Are you healthy enough to fight COVID if you get it? Has health been a priority in your life? So for me, this was such a wake-up call, and I think I considered myself healthy. I'm way more healthy now. That it has been a key takeaway for me. And then lastly, I think extending the acts of kindness. So like all of us, I've been home quite a bit, and I've been kind of cut off from a lot of the charity work that I do. And I started reaching out over the weekend to the people I know that lead organizations, saying like, hey, you guys, what can I do? How can I organize a bunch of agents? So I've called the food banks, 2 of them, and reached out to a mental health organization. And I'm trying to put that all together because I'm thinking we can like deliver stuff, right? So how can we give back right now? And Maria, what do you think in terms of acts of kindness and giving back? What are you being focused on right now?
Well, right now, everybody wants to hear from you. Everybody wants to be interconnected. Everybody wants inclusivity. Okay, so right now, so we're on a call. Let's just think about this for a second. There's almost 100 people on this call. What if everybody on this call called 2 people and asked them how they were doing? We now have spread that to 200 people. So right now I am just becoming the best version of myself. And how I do that is, for example, I've called Melanie and I've tried not to bother her every single day. Mel, how are you? Do you need anything? Chances are people just want to pick up. When you talk about kindness, okay, if you just come from a place of authenticity. So that's what I'm doing right now. I want to just recap on a couple things that we have talked about. I talked about meditation, and Mel really went into this and how she used prayer and meditation in order to she said there was just times where that was all I can do. So meditation and prayer. My next question is, how accountable and how much of an ambassador are you for yourself, self-love, self-care, for your own business and for your own body? So sometimes people will be like, well, I'm just going to have this glass of wine because right now that's self-care. But here's how you know it's not self-care, because tomorrow morning you're not going to feel good about doing it. If you make 10 phone calls today, tomorrow morning you will feel good about doing that. And that is true self-care. An ambassador means to advocate for. Are you advocating for yourself right now? Emotionally, physically, spiritually, and socially? Are you advocating for your clients? Are you reaching out to them? And then you talked about the extending the acts of kindness. Listen, there is no better way to spread cheer than to be your own kindness. To come back to our thoughts really quick, Earl Nightingale, I did some research before this talk. And I did some research on our outer world. And he says, and I quote, "Our environment, the world in which we live and work, is a mirror of our attitudes and expectations." Okay, let me repeat that one more time. So Earl Nightingale says, our environment, the world in which we live and work, is a mirror of our attitude and expectations. Let me just put a quick shout out to Melanie, because never once did I call her throughout this whole period. And listen, I was just traveling with her. I was sitting on the plane next to her. I had every meal with her for 3 days. Never once did she say, poor me. She just said, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to do this. So what Melanie saw back, and I don't want to speak for you, Mel, but you said, I had people reach out to me. I had doctors reach out to me. You have nothing but love coming into you. People are calling you ninja warrior. And I know, Mel, the truth is, let's get real. There had to be some part of you, and there was when I called you, I hope this is okay. And you said, you know, Maria, my biggest fear is that my husband doesn't get this. So there was this little, let's call him voice on this side going, worry, what if? And then there's this voice going, yeah, but focus. So I just want to point that out, and how you have been an amazing ninja warrior and role model through this process, in which voice you decide to listen to. In the quote, he says, it's a mirror. It's a mirror of your attitude and expectations. Melanie had a good attitude. She had good expectations. She still does right now. I can tell, I know her very well. And I want to applaud her, because I know that even speaking this much is taking a lot of energy for her to do this right now. So, but she is using this experience to help us all. And it's what I call sprinkles. So look for the spring, right? Sprinkles are silver linings in your life that you can all have and use and manifest and embrace and use for something better. And Melanie, I'm really sad that you got this, but I thank you for letting your experience of this COVID be a sprinkle for so many of us talking about all of this. And I'm grateful to call you friend and be by your side in this. And Kristine, your authenticity, because I had to just tell you this. I had to moderate a big event on Friday. There were hundreds of real estate agents here. I went to go put on a red dress and I could barely zip it. Okay. So maybe some of us have been eating, some of us have been drinking, some of us have been overworking, some of us have been worrying, some of us have been going out. Use this time to, one, be accountable to yourself, your business, your life, and to be an ambassador for yourself, your future, your life. So Kristine, if the future Kristine were to come to you in 2 weeks and say to you, you've done a good job, where do you think you've really done a good job? And what last piece of advice could you really focus on to give our ninjas a little bit of inspiration as they go on with their week today?
Yeah, so I think just 2 quick things. I think looking outward for inspiration has been crucial to surround myself with positive thinking. And I just want to say, I'm sure a lot of us ninjas, we have so many of these books. One thing I've been focusing on since I have a little bit more time is going through and making notes, and then putting an index card inside each book with like, here are the key takeaways, so that if I want to pick up the Go Giver in a month, I can pick it up and go, okay, boom, boom, boom. Here's the key takeaways. So I'm just doing it quick. Like, I don't have to read every book. I'm just kind of going through and extracting the goodness from it so I can easily reference it. So I think that's one thing that has, I love it. And it's giving me kind of a path to looking at all this wisdom and being able to harness it. So that's one quick thing. But then the second thing I'll just share this quote in this book, a man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. That's Mark Twain. So I'm going to ask you right now, is there a voice inside your head that keeps coming back to you saying, wow, what would it be like to not drink alcohol? You know, what would it be like to meditate every day? What would it be like to really commit to my morning routine? And maybe then after that, there's a little tingle of fear, like I could never do that. Find that voice. There's something in you right now that you can find that will challenge you, because this time, as painful as it is a gift. You've been given the gift of some extra time and you need to use it. So listen for that voice, little tingle of fear. That means, woo, that's a good one. And then use this time to conquer that or to embrace it. So I think, like, for me, this has been such a period of growth, as much as it has been painful and scary, but I'm choosing to focus on the love and the growth. So I would just share that. And thank you so much, both of you. I mean, you guys are amazing.
Hey, Kristine, let me just say, you talked about kindness. We cannot give what we don't have. Kindness starts from being kind to ourselves, right? And so, Mel, how are you doing? You hanging in there?
I am, and I'm telling you that this just being with the two of you, I'm so grateful for both of you and your friendship. And you know, I'm not reading the comments that are on here because honestly, I don't have my glasses on. I wouldn't be able to read them anyway. My vision's not that wonderful at the moment, but I just want to say that pulling the energy right now, I'm feeling, my eyes feel like they're a little bit brighter, you know, right now. And I'm so grateful for everyone. I will leave you with, take care of you. Take care of you, each and every one of you. Please take those vitamins. Think about how you can build your immune system. I hope that you got some good ideas and maybe some new inspiration to attack this week with a new mindset and a positive vibe. And know that this virus is no joke. And the reason why we are all at home is because it is so contagious. I am certifiable germaphobe.
Yeah.
And I felt like, you know, when I travel, I wipe down everything always. I used to be a flight attendant. You know, I know how gross airplanes are, but I am such a germaphobe. I take every precaution that there possibly could have been, and I caught it. And there's a reason why we have to stay at home, and that's because of how contagious this is. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. You know, I was able to have that oxygen at home. I know I would have landed in the hospital, but I am so grateful that I was able to recover at home and getting better. I love everybody out there. Please, please, please take care of you.
Well, thank you, Melanie. Very well said. And thank you, Kristine. And let's just remind everybody that extending acts of kindness, once again, you can't give what you don't have. Are you a warrior or are you a warrior? Are you choosing to be pitiful? Or are you going to choose to be powerful? And as you navigate through this week, become your own advocate and ambassador. Treat yourself the way you would want others to treat you. Treat yourself that good. I wish you all a wonderful, blessed week. Thank you to both of my co-hosts. You're both amazing women. And thank you to everybody who chimed in and watched. And Melanie, I speak on behalf of so many that you are such a gift to us, that you are so motivational. And we're all wishing you very, very well, healthy vibes.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.